Alright, here we are with the Baumalight. This is the, sorry about the camera work, I'm trying to do this with one hand. And now in pouring rainstorm, let me get this door closed. Alright, I'll do my best to get this on video for you. But here I am with the Baumalight GMX 350 with the upgraded motor. I think it's a 510 motor, and this is on my Sany SY35U. I bought the Sany brand new from Appalachian Equipment Solutions in Athens, Tennessee. Great machine. I've got 643 hours at the time I'm making this video. I've had the machine about a year and a half, and I use it commercially, and I've had very, very good service out of this machine, and very, very good service out of my dealer. My Sany dealer became a Baumalight dealer, and I bought the second Baumalight stump grinder that they sold. Another man had bought the first one, and I got the second one. Baumalight, if you go on their website, it does show the Sany SY35 as compatible with this particular stump grinder, and it says that I can grind a 24-inch stump in 25 minutes. I bought this stump grinder. I'll just tell you, I paid, I'm not sponsored by Sany, Appalachian Equipment Solutions, and certainly I'm not sponsored by Baumalight, and if I was, this video would probably end that anyway. But I bought this Baumalight stump grinder from my dealer. I paid $7,000 plus tax, and that's because the cost of the stump grinder was $6,500, and then they had to add a case drain to my excavator, and that was, they charged me only $500 for that. I bought this stump grinder, and I went and did a job with it right off the bat, because at $7,000 you got to work these things to pay for them. This was not a hobby for me, this is a business. And so I went out and I bid a job to grind 11 pine stumps, and I allowed myself a day to do it, and I gotta let some traffic go by here. It took me 3.5 days to grind 11 pine stumps. Now, in full disclosure and all fairness to all concerned, Baumalight, Sany, and everybody else, at least 2 of those stumps were 42 inches across, and I dug them 6 to 8 inches below ground level. But it took me 2.5, actually no, it was 3.5 days. I think I said 2.5 earlier. It was 3.5 days for me to grind those 11 pine stumps. There were other stumps on the property, and I ended up digging out a lot of the smaller ones. But then I ground a couple others. I thought, well, some of it is, beginning user error due to me being new at this and everything. So I ground a few other stumps, and it just doesn't matter what I do. If the stump is more than a 16-inch stump, you're going to be on it an hour. So I took the machine and the stump grinder, sorry about that, took the machine and the stump grinder back to my dealer, had them go over it. They checked the flow rates, they checked the pressures, they checked everything. On this Sany, on the auxiliary hydraulics, I'm running 3,500 pounds of hydraulic pressure to all my, running 3,500 pounds of hydraulic pressure to all my stick equipment, hydraulic cylinders and things like that. The auxiliary hydraulics is 2,500 pounds. And a lot of that is, well, I don't know if a lot of it's due to it, but I have a WB Works Brow thumb out there. I'm very, 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 very happy with that Works Brow thumb. I also have a Works Brow manual pin coupler that I like very well. I would like to have a hydraulic coupler, but when I bought this machine, I bought a VMC brush cutter with it to go with it. And my dealer told me that since I'm going to be doing brush cutting and all kinds of land clearing, that I would be much better off with a manual pin coupler because less chance of me getting things fouled up and breaking hydraulic lines and things like that. Well, you can see there that the stump grinder has decided to stop operating again. That's one of my issues. This stump grinder is extremely slow. Pressures and everything are fine. I called Baumalight, talked to them. They sent me test equipment. They said everything is fine with the machine. Everything's fine with their machine. The issue is this machine is, even though their website says it will take 25 minutes to grind a 24-inch stump, they claim that is a hardwood stump only. Softwood stump takes 2 to 3 times longer. Now this is information they gave my Sany dealer. A softwood stump will take 2 to 3 times longer, and anything over 24-inch stump will be exponentially longer. That's a quote from my dealer, supposedly from Baumalight themselves. So the moral of the story is the Baumalight stump grinder works. It grinds stumps. I do keep green teeth on it. I went ahead and ordered green teeth from Green Manufacturing. They are awesome people at Green Manufacturing. He's really done a lot to help me improve the performance of my stump grinder. Given me a few techniques, a few teeth options, teeth configurations and things like that. I can't say enough good things about the good folks at Green Manufacturing. However, at the end of the day, this Baumalight stump grinder is, I've paid professional prices for it. It is a very, very, very well built stump grinder. As far as fit and finish and welds and build quality, it's heavy. It has a lot of potential. If you put this on a 50 or 60 series machine, it's probably going to do a fantastic job. However, Baumalight advertised it to work on a 35 series machine. That's why I bought it, because it was advertised to operate on my machine, specifically on their website. So at the end of the day, with this Baumalight GMX 35 on a Sany GMX 350 on a Sany 35U, which they claimed was compatible. At the end of the day, what you get is professional quality, professional price, and as far as cost goes, $7,000. Well, let's be fair, $6,500 for the stump grinder. And but unfortunately, all you get is hobby performance. So if I was a farmer, a rancher, homeowner, and I needed to grind one stump in the backyard every 6 or 7 years, this $6,500 Baumalight stump grinder would fit the bill. It would be the perfect tool for that. For a business, somebody trying to operate and run a business and make money, this Baumalight is not the machine for me to do it in. For future stump grinding endeavors, I just picked it up a few days ago. I have to get it hooked up to my skid steer. But what I did for stump grinding is I have now purchased a Jenkins iron and steel manufacturing stump grinder for my John Deere 326. Let's see what it is. It's a 326E skid steer. So I now have a machine for that stump grinder, and when I get it going, I've already got a job lined up, a good paying job lined up for that. Much heavier stump grinder, much heavier piece of equipment. The Jenkins iron and steel equipment that I already have is fantastic equipment, fantastic machinery, and very well built, very durable, and actually affordably priced. So with that, I'm going to close this video out. I got to watch for traffic here. I'm grinding this stump pretty close to the road and need to get going, but this Baumalight stump grinder will get the work done as long as you've got plenty of time and lots of patience, and you don't need to if you're not worried about keeping track of your hours or anything like that, if you're not worried about getting the job done and getting out, if you're not worried about burning a whole tank of fuel to grind 2 or 3 stumps, then this Baumalight is the machine for you. All right, that's going to wrap it up here. See you later.